FreeSurfer is a very complex program, which can take several hours to process a single subject, and several days, perhaps weeks, to analyze an entire data set. At the same time, many of the commands are very simple to use. This video will review the command Recon-all, which does all of the FreeSurfer preprocessing. Recon-all stands for reconstruction, as in reconstructing a cortical surface. All it requires is a T1 weighted anatomical image with good contrast between the white matter and the gray matter. Recon-all first removes the skull from the volume and creates the file brainmask.mgz. The volume is then segmented into cortex, white matter, and subcortical structures, which is stored in the file aseg.mgz. Recon-all makes a first pass or original guess about where the boundary is between the tissues. This is called the orig surface. It then makes a second, more refined guess about the white matter boundary. This is called the white surface. Once this boundary is established, Recon-all expands outward to the outer boundary of the gray matter. This is called the peel surface. The distance from the white surface to the peel surface is the gray matter thickness. These surfaces are then inflated like a balloon. These inflated images, one per hemisphere, are stored in the file called Inflated. These images can be inflated even further into a sphere. The sphere is then registered to a template sphere in FreeSurfer's template directory fsaverage, an average of 40 subjects. This surface-based registration allows for more accurate alignment between the major gyral and sulcal landmarks. The cortical parcellations of the template are then mapped back onto the individual subject and adjusted for small variations in the individual's anatomy. These parcellations are taken from two atlases that come with FreeSurfer, the Desikan-Kiliani atlas and the Destriou atlas. Statistics can then be calculated from the atlas parcellations. Now let's look at the command Recon-all. Navigate to the directory containing your anatomical images. In this example, I have 6 anatomical images, one per subject, and let's say that this represents an entire dataset. If you want to run a single subject through FreeSurfer's Recon-all, type Recon-all-s and then the name of your subject. You'll want to use some kind of numbering system to keep your output organized. In this case, I'm going to call it subject 01, and -i will specify the anatomical input for Recon-all. In this case, subject1_anat.nai. The -all flag means to do all of the preprocessing steps. Recon-all has about 30 different processing steps. If you notice that FreeSurfer has failed at any stage of the preprocessing, you can go back and run a subset of those steps to save time. We'll cover these in a future tutorial on failure modes. If you have any permission to write errors when using Recon-all, then type the following: sudo chmod -R 8+w $subjects_dir. Recon-all shouldn't have any permission errors after that. If you go ahead and press enter, you should start to see output like this. All of this is being written out into a subdirectory in your subjects.dir folder. Let's see what that looks like. Note that subjects.dir is specified as a subjects directory in the FreeSurfer directory. We can change this later if we want to. To navigate there, type cd $, all caps, subjects_dir. Notice that we have a new directory, subject 01, which we specified in the command line, and that it's now being populated with subdirectories as Recon-all runs. This will take about 6 to 24 hours, and then you can see the full output. You may want to save your output to a directory other than subjects.dir. Let's say we wanted to save the output to the current directory. In that case, I could type the following: set env subjects.dir and in backticks pwd. If I type echo subjects.dir, that's now the current directory. Then, if I run Recon-all, the files will be located there. Note that this is T-shell syntax. You can replace the pwd and the backticks with an absolute path to the directory that you want. I prefer to add another option to Recon-all called qcache. This smooths the data at several different kernels, which is useful for group analyses. We'll cover that and more in the next tutorial, when we prepare our data for group level analysis.